good news. Folks, a recent viral video of students disrespectfully erasing a teacher's writing from the whiteboard has raised a social media talkback on the state of indiscipline in schools. The president of the National Association of Deans of Discipline, and he's also the Dean of Discipline of Cross Key High School, Mr. Samuel Smalling, takes us into his world and what teachers face daily. Good morning, sir. Welcome to Smile Jamaica. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Bell. Good morning, Simone, and good morning to the rest of the TVJ audience this morning and all the educators in the Jamaican education system.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Smalling.
How long have you been in this system, sir?
I've been in the system for close to 12 years now.
I asked that question to ask, how has things changed, or how have things changed, if they have, since you started? I'm talking about discipline and or / indiscipline here.
But I think overall, I think we have seen a deterioration of the level of indiscipline within our education system in recent times. But the level of indiscipline is not a new phenomenon. It has been around for quite a while. But I think the social media have caused the rest of the nation to see some of the challenges that we face within the classroom on a daily basis. And even the recent one that the focus is on is minuscule to some of the challenges that we face within the education sector on a daily basis.
Really?
So yeah, while we are focusing on these things, yes, this one, the challenges are much greater than what we see here. I mean, we have students who continue to challenge authority and challenge the leadership of institution based on their behavior. So I suppose this, once it is caught on social media, we run into panic mode. But this is what deans of discipline, administrators face on a daily basis within the education system.
Wow.
You know, this morning I watched this video and it made my blood boil. It's not just even the act of wiping off the board, which is clear disrespect while the teacher is writing, but the almost look of defiance. And the students kind of, stares and look in the teacher face like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And we based on some of what I've read, you are saying that schools that receive students with the lowest exam passes face more behavioral challenges and will need greater resources to support programs. But is this really limited to those schools, or is this more widespread than we want to acknowledge?
I think it is much more widespread than we want to acknowledge. The truth is, we have to fix the education system from early childhood straight up, because we have too many of our students who are coming to high school who are reading at primary and pre-primary, and some can't read. And then you want to give those schools the same resources that you give, I mean, I don't want to call no names, but the brand school, as they call them. So when you send 50% of the PEP students to Cross Keys High or a Tivoli High, and then you expect to give us the same resources that you give to other schools. I'm just saying, if we are going to fix the level of challenges that we face in these schools, you have to give the schools the necessary resources so that we can engage and help to transform the behavior of these students who come to us with many challenges based on socioeconomic background, based on the environment that they come to us from, based on the poor family structure and all of those things. So we have to put the money where it is needed most, so that we can impact the level of indiscipline that we see on a daily basis in our schools.
Mr. Smalling, I would like you to tell me about what kind of resources you're talking about. But before that, what would you have done in that situation? You personally would have done in that situation. It's a female teacher. I don't know if that would have made a difference, but what would you have done?
Okay, I don't know, have all the details in terms of the particular situation, but we always encourage our teachers, our educators, A teacher normally sets the ground rules for his or her class. So there are ground rules. So if a student, I don't know what would have transpired for that level of disrespect to a teacher. It would be difficult I would have stopped the student, I would speak to the student, desist from doing that, and ensure that there's a clear communication to the student.
Then that works, sir. Somebody's watching, going, what? Talk to the student how? The student would probably just look in your face and continue doing it. What do you do in a situation where the student does not care for that authority, and no matter what you say, they're going to keep combating you anyway? And it's never ask what you would do, but what kind of guidance do you give to your deans of discipline in situations like this, and worse, which you say you face daily? This look like it takes a whole heap of patience.
It takes a lot of patience and courage, and as I said, they challenge you in so many different ways. However, I don't think this would happen to a dean of discipline based on our posture and based on how we engage our students. So we want, so you send for help. If the teacher, for instance, and it seems to be like a young teacher, and I spoke about that on TVJ a couple of weeks ago, about teacher migration and the fact that many young teachers are coming into the classroom and without a certain level of experience. So therefore, our students know this, and they will challenge these teachers. And if you don't get it right on the first day as a teacher, you lose it for the rest of the term. So we want to encourage our teachers, our young teachers, to, get support, mentorship from those educators who know how to handle certain things. But it seems as if, based on what we see on the video, I don't want to judge the situation. I didn't see any response from the teacher. As I said, I don't have all the information, but I would expect the teacher would have at least speak to the student in a firm manner, not necessarily to push the student away from the board. However, you need to send a strong signal to the student that this is not your peer that you are dealing with, and take charge of your class. If that doesn't happen, we call upon the teacher for support. There's a teacher next door, or send for help. But in this situation, as you alluded, there was gross disrespect and a defiance, as if they don't care. And taking on the teacher in this manner. It is just such a sad reality. But my thought is that indiscipline anywhere is a threat to discipline everywhere. And we as a nation have to decide what we want in terms of what is happening in our education system. There's too much corruption. There's too much the behavior that is unbecoming within our society, that as a society, we need to take a stand against these kinds of behavior that is being displayed by the society on a whole that gets itself within our education system.
Yeah, I want to get back to what you said about resources. And also, I read that you said that some schools would have like 2,500 students and just one guidance counselor.
One dean of discipline.
One dean of discipline. What would you want to see? So a quick answer there, and then tell me about your resources. So how many should you have?
And a ratio, 1 to?
1 to what?
Yes. So based on what happens with guidance counselor, I think one guidance counselor to 250 students, and we deans of discipline, we have 2,500 students, 2,000 students to one dean of discipline, and sometimes 2 campuses that they have to run and 2 shifts that they have to run that takes place. So we need more deans of discipline within our schools to give the necessary support to teaching and learning and to our teachers, because most deans of discipline, and I get almost the students are more, I don't want to say respect, but once I walk on a camp, my campus, for instance, I drive through the gate and students are not in line. They disappear to their classes, they disappear to wherever they need to go.
Yeah, what resources are you talking about? We don't have a lot of time, so what resources you say you need?
So I'm saying there needs to be a treatment center. The Ministry of Education needs to set up a treatment center at least within each region, with the necessary resources in terms of psychologists, social workers, counselors, possible sports psychologists within that space, the army, etc. But the CPSFA continues to do their work, but they don't have anywhere to send these students. So we need more resources in terms of within each region, so that when we have uncontrollable students, what do we do with them? They cannot necessarily remain in this space. So there needs to be a treatment center, well-resourced, so that we can refer, and also resources so that deans of discipline can execute their behavioral modification programs within their space. Because we, as deans of discipline and guidance counselors, etc., can do a lot of work with these students with behavioral challenges, but most times we don't have the financial resources, we don't have the material resources, because discipline is not a one-off situation. And if we want behavior transformation, it takes time. So as we have to be patient.
Okay.
Did you say the army? I'm sorry. You said army, right?
I did say the army.
Okay.
So I'm saying within that center.
Yes, I heard you. I just wanted to make sure I was hearing right, because when you say army, we're gone to another level. So I'm saying thank you very much this morning.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
All the
You're
best
welcome.
to you and
all the best to all the educators.
Yeah, President of the National Association of Deans of Discipline, Samuel Smalling. God go with all our name, because I could not. I couldn't do
I don't know if I've ever heard any school with more than one dean of discipline. I know schools have guidance and counselors. I know they have, 3 or 4 or 5.
I don't think.
I don't know if I've ever heard of.
I think the template is usually one.
It's just one, yeah.
And then the guidance counselors reporting
right.
too.
So you might have 4 or 5, I guess, depending on the numbers. 2,500 in a school, that's plenty. Because I know, like at St. George's College, I know there are like 1,400 boys. And I think you have probably about 500 or 600 girls. But 2,500 in one school sounds plenty.
How the children them brazen though, that's the part I don't get.
Yeah.
Like,
and that must have been tough. And then when you see the fights with students and people have knives, I could understand that teacher just saying, well...
Getting help?
Yeah.
Eh?
No,
Somebody said, me don't know what happened if
Yeah.
me... You understand?
Yeah.
It's really sad.
All right.
All right, up next, everybody. Does hard work guarantee success? We're going to talk through that when we come back.